welcome to Eurosport. This is our continuing coverage of the 12th Pharaohs Rally, day 3 of the rally here in Egypt. This is the 5th round of the FIA Cross Country World Cup, the Desert Raid Series, and this is the scene in Egypt. But first we're going to take a quick look back at what happened on the first 2 days of the rally. Started Sunday from Alexandria, with the special stage to Bahariya, which this man, Timo Salonen, won for Citroen. This is the Citroen ZX Rally Raid, 330 horsepower, 2.5 litre turbocharged, weighing 1,450 kilos. Salonen, the 1985 World Rally Champion, having made his mark as a desert raider in the years since, and here he is indeed out front on the first day in Egypt. Second on day 1, Said Al-Hajri, the Middle East Rally Champion, won the Pharaohs Rally for Porsche in 1985. He is in the Mitsubishi Pajero, 320 horsepower, 2.2 litre turbo, 1,350 kilograms. Sponsored, as you can see, by the Rothmans Mitsubishi team. And there in the wastes of the Western Desert, close to El Alamein, we see Bruno Sabi of Mitsubishi leading. Hubert Auriol of Citroen. Sabi, the 1993 Paris Dakar winner, leading Auriol, the 1992 Paris Cape Town winner. They're respectively 6th and 3rd at the end of this first day's special stage. Pierre Lartigue, another of the team runners for Citroen, as we just look at Sabi. This is Lartigue, just coming over the dune now, ahead of the Schlesser special buggy of Jean-Louis Schlesser. Lartigue 4th today. This man, a long-time desert raider, came very close to winning the Pharaohs Rally a number of times. Leading 201 there, Jean-Louis Schlesser, the double world sports car champion, driving with a navigator this year after years of single-handed buggy racing. Hubert Auriol. Zipping up ready for the off as we look at the bikes. And the big surprise today is the winner of the bike section of the Pharaohs Rally. Today Sunday that was, Raid Badar of Egypt. Great performance by the local hero on his Honda XR 600. Winner on day 1 on this first long and arduous special. 240 kilometers of it. Again going down through the El Alamein area, past the scenes of the World War II tank battles between Montgomery and Rommel, and that was a long time ago now, 51 years ago this month. The Badar heading out through this spectacular scenery as we look at the 2 Cagiva riders, Eddie Orioli on the number 2 Cagiva, Jordi Arcarons on the number 3 bike. Orioli with the blue livery of Albatross, Arcarons with the red livery of Lucky Strike. Orioli kicking up the heels of his bike there. Riding right behind Arcarons there, looking at that scene as these escarpments give way to stony flat plateaus right across the western desert of Egypt. There in the distance is Franco Pico on the number 1 KTM. Franco Pico, a long-time desert raider as well. Runs 5th today as he's just finding his bearings here in Egypt. Hard going amongst these rocks and stones. And there's 1st and 2nd today, Badar with Jutta Kleinschmidt of Germany, the first lady on this rally, who has a great ride today on her KTM 600 into 2nd place overall. Overnight bivouac at the end of Sunday's first special stage. here in Bahariya, and then the following day 370-kilometer stage from Bahariya to Farafra. These are the dunes they're going to be tackling today. Abu Makari dunes. Farafra famous for its hot springs, and at the end of the 370-kilometer special is a 9-kilometer hill climb. Something to sort out the men from the boys. This is Jean-Louis Schlesser, who wins the special stage on Monday. This is the Renault Alpine V6 powered Schlesser Proto Special. As into time control comes Hubert Oriol, third on the stage today. Schlesser right with him as this man takes a header into the sand with his rubber stamp at the time control. Riding with Schlesser, the man who won the 1990 and 91 World Sports Car Championships. Drove for Williams for a brief period in 1988, but last year won the Pharaohs Rally. Became the first man to win it single-handed and the first man in a two-wheel drive car to win a desert raid. Taking it easily over these treacherous dunes. Some of these dunes 30 meters high. 204 here is Said Al-Hajri, second on this stage today. So second 2 days running. Still will Al-Hajri, Middle East Rally champion. (1984 and 1985), winner of the Tunis Rally this year. And as we said, won the Pharaohs Rally in 85. As we look at Hubert Oriol, who's lost his bodywork after an engine fire. He's also lost 2 of his four-wheel drive, and he finishes third today. This is the hill climb, the third special stage right at the end of a long day. Timo Salonen in great form already, powering up in that Citroen, using all of those 330 horsepower. And absolutely sideways, Said Al-Hajri, the Qatari driver, who wins the special stage and overnight will be second. This man though, Jean-Louis Schlesser, a great climb, fourth up the hill, but he becomes the overnight leader after 2 days in Egypt. And Alain Ambrosino finishes second on the stage. Ambrosino finishing fourth overall in the rally. And in the bike section, on this second day, which was Monday in Egypt, Jordi Arcaron's at speed, winning across the flat desert. A very fast section this. Still early morning when they left the overnight bivouac. Headlights on as dawn comes up over the western desert. This is Eddie Orioli, and just listen to the glorious sound of this Cagiva. This is Rad Badar, the Egyptian rider who won Sunday's first stages, but he can't do it today. He's slightly off the pace, 9th overall at the end of the day. Badar riding his Honda XR 650. And this is the infamous 9-kilometer hill climb up these 100-meter tall dunes. This is Tagazo, who finishes 23rd on the stage, and this on his knees, Yazaki, who's being helped by, amongst others, Jutta Kleinschmidt, to try and get his Yamaha up the hill, but the Japanese finding it all too much. He's on his knees again. And this man, Franco Pico, on the number 1 KTM, wins the hill climb stage to become third overall. Raibadar again, dropping points again, finishes 5th overall at the end of the day. Mami Rowley here, 5th on this special stage, although he's way down the order in 7th. And Cristanelli on the number 40 Yamaha 660 here, making hard work, going up these hills into the dunes. 12th today. We're going to take a short break. Stay with us. Welcome back to the Pharaohs Rally. This is Eurosport's coverage. This is the third day of the rally, Tuesday. This is Mark Cole looking at what was happening today. We see the GPS satellite navigation systems. This is global positioning systems. They use 5 satellites to accurately place within 10 meters of latitude, longitude and altitude. It can be either handheld or vehicle mounted as here. This is Orioli and Jordi Arcarons, the 2 rally leaders. Arcarons actually in overall control here on his Lucky Strike Congiva. Orioli on the Albatross Congiva in second place. The 2 of them riding today as first and second overall leaders of the rally. This is one of the way markers, but which way do you go? 40 cars and 34 bikes still in the rally out of the original 48 cars and 40 bikes. These are the scenes today as we pick up Hubert Oriol from the helicopter in the number 205 Citroen ZX Rally Raid. '21 raid wins, mainly on bikes. He won the 1981 and 83 Paris-Dakar on bikes. He was French Enduro champion, then he changed to cars. In 88 he won the Atlas Rally. 1990 he won the Pharaohs Rally in a Lada, and of course in 1992 this Paris restaurateur won the Paris Cape Town Rally. Oriol partnered on the event by Gilles Picard, another former biker, the man who was third on the Pharaohs Rally in 87, and of course this year finished third alongside Oriol on the Paris-Dakar. So both these men making a successful change from 2 wheels to 4 as Oriol comes through today to win the stage and take the overall lead of the rally, because behind him a lot of problems for a lot of people. 620-kilometer loop from Farafra back to Farafra. Very few escaping these dramatic sand dunes, 70-meter high dunes. Vast seas of sand. One of them here, Alain Ambrosino, damage to his Citroen, and despite this though he finishes second on today's stage and is third overall by tonight. Note the fesh, this loose talcum powder type of sand they're going through. He's done a nosedive into a dune, but it's hardly slowed him. In fact, it's probably made the car a bit lighter. As we see side Al-Hajri, who loses little time today because his teammate Bruno Sabi is stuck in the sand. Al-Hajri stops to help him after 5 minutes, gives up. This though is Ambrosino, has just stopped again to check that damage to his car as Al-Hajri goes on into the time control. This man, of course, loving every moment of it in the desert, but his teammate Sabi, as well as being stuck, feeling very sick indeed, gets sand sick on these type of stages. Also took a battering yesterday and is wearing a neck brace. But no problems for Al-Hajri, who tonight, after finishing third on the stage, is second overall on the rally behind Citroen's Hubert Oriol. So Citroen first, Mitsubishi second. This is the first time they've met on the Pharaohs for some years, since 1990 in fact. As we see Schlesser at speed. Now this is just the advantage Schlesser has with 2-wheel drive and that V6 powered Renault Alpine engine, really pushing his buggy on, passing Sabi. Schlesser, as we said, winner last year of this rally, and he's going all out to try and win it this year. Overnight leader. But then he gets stuck and he finishes the stage 6th today, and he'll be 5th overall by tonight. Took him half an hour to get the car off that ridge. This is Hubert Oriol.
Rather than yesterday, like we had quite a lot of problem, and in those kind of stage where there's a lot of dunes and no tracks and you have to find your way, we made perfect navigation, and the car had absolutely no problem. It was funny because this morning at the first checkpoint we were all together, 5 cars in 10 seconds, and I passed in front at the beginning of the dunes, and after that we saw nobody. And we arrived here and we had about 10 minutes on the second, so it's a good operation. I'm leading the race today and I won the stage.
And so to be first is a great responsibility now.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not the first time I'm leading a race. And but it's sure it's only the third day of the race, so there's a lot of kilometers to go on. I think tomorrow is very tough. There's again some dunes, very high dunes. So I think we have to be very careful because it's not finished.
And another change today. Fontenay is stuck in the sand in his Mitsubishi, so this man, Gambillon, becomes T2 leader for the modified class in his Dessous Nissan Patrol after rolling it. These are the standings after 4 stages on the Pharaohs Rally then. Oriol from Al-Hajri, Ambrosino, Sabi and Schlesser. And Gambillon tonight in the Nissan, despite that roll, in 8th place overall. We're going to take a short break, look at today's bike race on the Pharaohs Rally. Well, welcome back to the Pharaohs Rally here in Egypt. This is the 5th round of the FIA World Cross Country Cup. We're looking now at the bike action today on the 4th stage. This was the enormous loop, 620 kilometers, biggest stage of the rally from Farafra and then back to Farafra. Tough sand dunes for everybody, the bikes in particular finding it hard going. This is Franco Pico, the man who was 3rd yesterday. He wins the stage today and stays in 3rd place overall. Just 28 of the 40 bikers still left. Pico pushing on in this KTM. Probably Italy's finest raider now, the man quite determined he's going to pass those 2 Kajivas in front of him. Comes into the time control halfway through the stage. Not a problem for Pico today. He just a few seconds ahead of these 2, Orioli and Arcrons on their Kajivas. All 3 of them had problems finding checkpoints, but because they all got lost together, the difference between them was maintained. These are the 2 Kajiva rivals, Orioli and Arcarons. Orioli, who won the Paris-Dakar in 1988 on a Honda, won it in 1990 on a Kajiva. Now with Kajiva and Arcarons, 3rd on this year's Paris-Dakar on a Yamaha. The Spaniard also having made the change to Kajiva. This is Orioli, finishes 2nd on the stage today to maintain his 2nd place overall on the rally after 4 days, after 4 stages, 3 days. And just behind him at the moment, Arcarons, 3rd on the stage, although there was only just seconds between the 3 of them. But he maintains his overall lead of the rally. Back together again, the number 2 and 3 bike, the 2 Kajiva twins, believing in safety in numbers as they come into that final control. Just 55 seconds between them, and they're both 40 seconds back on Pico. This is Jutta Kleinschmidt, who's 4th today, having finished 2nd on the first day's stage. She maintains 4th position overall. The German lady who works as an engineer for BMW. We saw her on the Paris-Dakar, Paris-Le Cap, which she finished with 2 broken bones in a foot. And this is Franco Pico. We asked him how the day was. He said it was very long stages. I didn't force too much at the beginning, and I managed to win, same as last year when I won the longest stage of the rally. So what's the difference with other competitors? That it's really, above all, it's the servicing after the 2nd checkpoint. There's a lot of navigation to do, a bit of indecision from the others. Although my bike's a little bit inferior, I think, than the Kajivas, I still managed to pass them. He said I could go better than the Kajivas here. Wasn't really a problem for me. Are you satisfied with what you've done so far? I said, well, of course I'm won the stage today. I'm third overall at the moment. I came to take part in the competition more than to win it. Said everything at the moment's okay. I'm afraid I might be short of fuel on some of the long stages, and my bike doesn't use so much fuel there. On the other hand, I'm really a bit worried about the hardest stages and the really hot ones, because the biggest problem in this rally, like in all the other rallies, is missing your fuel points. Anyway, everything's okay at the moment. So Pico quite content with his stage win. There's the results after 4 stages. Arcaron, Zoriolu, Pico, Jutta Kleinschmidt, a great performance, and Marco Montebelli of Italy on his Yamaha there. Now, quite apart from the cars and the bikes running in the rally, there's a truck section which has been extremely hard this year. We lost 2 of the major trucks, the Polini and George Groin's Mercedes on the first day. So what we're left of it at the moment, and here they are running at the moment up the hill here. This is the 306 Mercedes of Pellichet, Bonvin Andre. This is the 308 of Versino. Mercedes trucks running in a support situation again. This is the Rothmans service vehicle helping Mitsubishi out. Rothmans, of course, going into Formula 1 next year, and this and the final round of the FI Cross Country World Cup, which will be the United Arab Emirates Sprint in November, be the final desert raids that Rothmans takes part in. So hard work for these trucks, especially in these dunes, as you can see, climbing up these long hills. A lot of work to do. Racing as well as being in a support role here. The Sonauto truck of Versino, Bonnet and Cassio. This is one of the Tatras, one of the Russian entries. This is Marx and Godel in the Liaz, sponsored by Tatra Motorrad, running second at the moment. And just look at the landscape they've got to cope with. Again, we see this Liaz, sister to the trucks racing in the European Truck Racing Championship. We also bring you on Eurosport. Pushing on well, but as we said, we've lost those 2 leading trucks, the Polini of Francesco Polini and the Mercedes of Georges Gouin, 2 favourites out on the first day. Like a lot of the vehicles involved in accidents, rollovers, or just plain stuck in this incredibly hostile countryside here in Egypt. There it is. Well, tomorrow, day 4, it's a 160-kilometer race to El Kas, and then another 320 kilometers to Al-Hajri, right out in the far west of Egypt. Stay with Eurosport then for that tomorrow. We'll see you then for the Pharaohs Rally.